I guess we'll start tonight discussing the goaltending. Cal Petersen gets the start. I wondered how much Cal Petersen would play. Given the schedule, they don't have a ton of back-to-backs. They don't have a back-to-back until February 24th, 25th. They only have a few for the rest of the season. All the back-to-backs, not all of them, are like 3 and 4s. So you can really like spread it out and kind of. You didn't have to go to Cal Petersen a ton down in these final 30, 32 games after the All-Star break. They go to him tonight in the third game, and he was pretty decent.
He was.
The Flyers played pretty well defensively. I think they only ended up giving up, 20 shots?
It was like, 19 shots
19
here,
shots
17
on goal.
saves for Cal Petersen.
Yeah, so he's okay enough. He plays well enough for the team to win. I got to say, considering it's his first NHL start since since November, he did play the final 2 periods of the Boston game before the break. So it's not like he hasn't had any time, but they ended up pulling Ersson for the final 2 periods of that game. But really, he has not seen NHL pucks in a while, other than that. And I thought he was decent tonight.
Yeah, what they say was his first start since November 11th.
Since November 11th or 13th, something like that.
So before we got back into the play from the break, we talked about it. This was an important situation that we needed to analyze because with March 8th looming, you wanted to know what exactly you were going to have as far as your backup goaltender. Not that, because obviously we're all looking to see Ers take over the number 1 spot, take a full grasp of it, but we wanted to see, yes, because you're not going to rely on Ers every single game. We've seen some bad from Cal Petersen before, but tonight, look, the defense in front of him, the guys in front of him did a really good job. I mean, the amount of blocks I saw, and that's something I want to ask talk to Charlie about as well. Oh, and Tippett making big blocks.
I would love that
with a huge block. A lot of guys. So it was a really good effort in front of him. And in the second period, there was a couple opportunities where you had to rely on Cal Petersen, but overall, I thought he was solid, and you did a good job of keeping him clean.
You did. I think the most important thing is the defense they played in front of him. I thought maybe midway through the second, they kind of started to lag a little bit, but they did get a little momentum back. At the end of the third. They at least won some shifts. Seattle ties the game, first 36 seconds, and it's like, shit. Like, how's this going to go? But the third period, it's not like they were under a ton of duress. It's not like it was a shooting gallery the way the final 40 minutes of the last game went. So that was really good to see out of this team.
Bill, there was some droughts throughout the game for Seattle. I think, like they mentioned it near the end of the third period, there was like almost 14 minutes where Seattle didn't even take a shot. The beginning of the second period, the first 9 minutes, they take a shot.
That was their shot total after the first period. Seattle's was 10. And we were both like watching, and it's on 10. It's over halfway through. And then they come back from a commercial break, and suddenly they have 11. And we're both like, when did they get this one shot?
Where did that come from?
They did hit the post once, but it was like, at what point did they? But it all ends up pretty good. And it's just hard to know what you're going to get out of Cal Petersen. Like, he made 9 starts in the AHL or in the NHL last year. He'd made 2 this season. Numbers haven't been great over the last really 3 seasons. So you just don't know what to expect out of him. But for right now, I think it's a good sign if you want this team to make the playoffs, because I seriously doubt they were going to do anything to upgrade the position. For one, they're paying Cal Petersen $5 million. Like, I know he's spent most of the year in the AHL, and it's just kind of sunk cost. You're spending that money because you wanted to take some stuff back from the Kings so that you could get something for Provorov.
Right.
You got the return you wanted, and that's good. But like, you did very badly need, you just very badly don't want to spend any more on this backup position, because you're already, yes, you get some salary relief for Carter Hart, but $5 million for your backup is a ton of money, especially for one. Now he's made 3 starts. His minutes, his dollars per minute is absolutely insane right now. I doubt they were going to upgrade the position. Maybe after the deadline, you see what kind of cap space you have. You make a waiver claim or something. Yeah. But you kind of just need Cal Petersen to be at least okay. Yeah. In the few games he's going to play, if you want this team to make a playoff push, he needs to not suck. Yeah. He didn't suck tonight, and they win because of it. That's huge for them right now.
Just being an NHL goalie, that's really what you're asking from Cal Petersen.
I'm not asking for the world here. I need you to not suck.
Yeah, no, that's literally everything that you're asking for. And yeah, we talked about before, like you don't want to give up assets. Like I know we're winning, but we are still building for the future. So we are still trying to gain those assets. So yes, Cal Petersen looking like a functional NHL goaltender is good news. That's a huge positive.
Yeah.
And he's building confidence, which is important here because a performance like tonight has to build his confidence.
No, it's such a mental game with goalies. You never actually know what to expect. That's why, like, you need elite goaltending to win a cup. Unless you're like Colorado a couple years ago. You need your goalie to play at an elite level, but it's rarely the actually elite goalies who do it. It's just dudes who get hot for a little while, and that is not what I'm expecting out of Cal Petersen, but it just shows you how important the confidence aspect is. And I don't think if he gets 10 of the final, 29 games, I will be shocked by that. I think it's going to be, for the most part, Sam Ersson. But now this does give you the opportunity, at least for now. You know, he could suck next time out. But right now, if I'm the coach, I'm thinking, I don't have to run Sam Ersson into the ground. I can still have a normal starting schedule for him and not an over the top. Like, oh yeah, we got to run him out there as much as like the Devils ran out Brodeur because that's what we need to do if we're going to make the playoffs.
Right.
I still expect him to see a lot of Ersson, but at least for now, Cal Petersen looks like a dude that you can put out on the ice, and he's not going to cost you the game.
Yeah, are you a little shocked? Because like I figured that they would want to put him out there Monday against Arizona, but it worked out well here tonight.
You know, it's a really interesting. Yeah, like maybe just right now, I guess it's just you kind of want to keep Ersson on some sort of normal scale. Like, okay, you're going to start 2 out of 3.
Important.
We're going to, especially with no back-to-backs until like 2 weeks from now, basically. 3 in a row. I mean, he can start 3 in a row. It's not the end of the world. But it's like, okay, we're going to give you 2 out of every 3, and we're going to keep that schedule going through the month, and then we'll see how March goes, and then maybe you start everyone in April. Like, who knows? If we're that close, like, you kind of keep him on a normal schedule so that if you have to go all him for those final 7 games or whatever in April, you do it. It's going to be a tightrope to walk. Like, it's a 24-year-old goalie that you have no idea about. I mean, you have a rough idea of what he is, but again, it's goaltending. It's voodoo.
Yes.
And then you have this veteran, this overpaid veteran who you got as a cap dump, who is now your backup as you can say you're rebuilding all you want. They want to make the playoffs. Like, you can't be this close to it and think, if we don't, we don't. Like, I know it's got to be the overall sentiment because this is all house money. They never expected, at least no one on the outside expected him to be here this year. But you're there now.
Yeah.
Like, there's under 30 games left. You got to be a little excited about the possibility. Like, Danny Briere, first year on the job, like, yeah, I did pretty well, huh? You know? Last year's second leading scorer gone. The number 1 defenseman gone. You lose your goalie halfway through the season. Like, things are looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good.
So I'm excited about what we saw out of Cal Petersen because at least for right now, I can talk myself into could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be worse down the stretch for a team that I want to see play in the playoffs.
For those who are looking ahead at the schedule with the goalies, so the end of February is one you're probably going to want to rely on Ersson. So you got the Rangers on the 24th. Now, Pittsburgh, obviously not the same team, but you're going to be in Pittsburgh on the 25th, and then you got Tampa on the 27th. So those are going to be 3 games you may want to rely on Ersson. So it's interesting how February is going to play out here with the goalies.
We all silly like the mayor.